Hey guys, we're finally to the end of October. I feel like this month went so slow in the beginning and then like rapidly picked up, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's the end of October, what the heck? And so here are the October wrap up, and later I will have an annotation if you want to skip the wrap up to go to just what I'm going to be reading for my TBR of November. So stay tuned for that, and we'll start with the October wrap up. Woo! Alright, so the first book that I read this month was Every Day by David Levithan. I have a review if you'd like to check it out right here. I really enjoyed this book. It was really amazing, and I totally think anyone and everyone should be reading this book right now because it was fantastic, and it's so new. The idea is so fresh, and that's why I really liked it. The second book that I read this month was The Raft by S.A. Bodine. I have a book review on this one as well. It'll be right here. I thought this book was average. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but I wasn't happy with it. So you can check out the review if you'd like to know why and the reasons as to why and all the synopsis and stuff. But that's The Raft. Okay, so this book at the moment, while I'm doing this, I am not done with this book, but by the time that this uploads, I'll be done with this book and have the review up. So here is the book that I have. I don't really know what my thoughts are on it right now, so I can't really tell you, but you can check out my review because it'll be up before I put this up, if that makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, point is, here's the review. Go check it out. Alright, so now that I'm done with my October wrap-up, let's move on to November. Alright, so these are the books that I'm going to be reading in November. The books are kind of sporadic. There's no real point to them. I just kind of chose them because they sounded good and I've been wanting to read them for a while. Some of them are ones I might be reading in class as well. So yeah, I'll explain that later. So let's get started. I'll talk about the ones that I'm probably going to be reading in school first. I might be reading For One More Day in school already, so I kind of have that one just kind of stayed on the side. But in case I don't, I'll read this book on my own this month, and if I do read this in class, then while I'm reading this in class, I'll also be reading this in my free time, which is another one of Mitch Albom's books, which is The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. So that's kind of the reason why I have these two books, and yeah, so those are the first two. This next one also ties into having to read in class kind of stuff, and if I don't have to read For One More Day, I might have to read Speak, which I have already read Speak before by Lori Hales Anderson, and I really loved it, but it's been a couple of years, so I might be rereading it in that class. So also, if I do read that, then it would be nice to read another one of Lori Hales Anderson's books, and it's Wintergirls. I've heard this one is really good, and a lot of people say it's really good, but I have actually tried reading this summer before I started YouTube, and I don't know, I just couldn't really get into it, but it might just because it has probably a slow beginning, so I don't know, I think I'm going to just kind of push through it and see what I think, but yeah, I'm going to give this one another try. False Memory by Dan Carocos is the next book that I'd like to read. This has nothing to do with class, but I just kind of wanted to read it on my own free time. So this one is right here. It's pretty sweet and cool looking. It's about like a girl losing her memory and stuff and finding out that she's a part of this big thing, and I don't know, you'd have to check it out. By the way, I'm going to have all Goodreads links and Shelfari links down below so you can check out what they're about. The next and last and final book that I'd like to read this month is by Marissa Meyer, and it's Cinder. A lot of people have said this is really good, and they had lower expectations because they weren't sure if it was going to be good, or they had high expectations because they've heard it was good, and so it's just kind of mixed reviews on this, but a lot of people say it's really good, so I'm really excited to read it. So here's just kind of a lineup of all the books that I'd like to read, and just a recap. So Cinder by Marissa Meyer, False Memory by Dan Carocos, Lori Hales Anderson Wintergirls, and then both of Mitch Albom's books, or one of some of them, For One More Day and The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. So here are the books. I hope you guys enjoy my reviews on them and stuff, and I hope I can enjoy them as well. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.